Welcome back, everybody. This is Latin's Fight Picks. Today we will be going over the fight card for Fight Night. Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. I believe it is in Seattle. So as usual, we will go over the fight card from the first fight to the main event. So let's start. I'm gonna make this quicker. Well, I'm gonna try to make it quicker because I'm just out the door. But I thought maybe I should just send this out today instead of tomorrow. So let's start. I think there was a fight just added on: Nikolai Veretennikov versus Austin Vanderford. Veretennikov is moving up from welterweight, and I think Austin Vanderford is moving down. I think what's going to be a catchweight between welter and middleweight. Vanderford, I don't know very much about him. I know he's 34 years old. He's 5'11", 74-inch reach. Veretennikov, I actually like the way he fights. I think he's really well-rounded, good striker, good on the ground, and he went to a split decision against Barlow, which is a highly touted prospect. So the pick's going to be Veretennikov. I'm not even sure what the odds are right now, but new fight, Veretennikov's going to be the pick. You know, pretty decent degree of confidence. Moving on, Nursultan Ruziboyev versus Eric Mechanico. Ruziboyev, you know, I think this is again one of those. I think Ruziboyev is moving up because it's middleweight. Ruziboyev, he was. He's moving up in weight, so he was in welterweight, and then he went to middleweight, right? Yeah, I think he's moving up to middleweight. Or was he in lightweight moving up to welterweight / moving up to... Yeah, he's in... Well, Bruno Ferreira, he beat him. And where was this? Sorry, I just... Yeah, he went down. I think to welter, and I think he's back up to middle now. And Mechanico, who's in middle, but I've seen him fight in heavy. So he's moving down in weight, and this guy is kind of moving up. And yeah. But Ruziboyev was in middle, then he went to welter, came back. Anyways, Mechanico, 34 years old. I think this is kind of a setup fight. I think Mechanico is fairly talented. I think he's good. He's well-rounded, good on the ground, good on the feet. You know, journeyman type of fighter. He's good on the local scene. But I think he's outmatched here. I think Ruziboyev's got him covered everywhere. He's tall, he's 6'5", he's got a long reach. He's good on the ground, good grappler, got tons of experience. Even though he's younger, he's got way more experience. So Ruziboyev is going to be the pick. Yeah, I'm not going into super detail on these guys, so sorry. Alonzo Menifield versus Julius Walker. You know what? Alonzo Menifield, I mean, who knows who's going to show up? He is 37 years old. He has come up and surprised me and knocked out and hurt people that I didn't expect him to hurt, and, you know, lost against people I didn't expect him to lose to. So yeah, I mean, who knows who's going to come out? He's 37 years old. Chin is questionable. I mean, is it weakening? But you know, has improved quite a bit from when he was a few years ago. You know, he's improved his ground game, his takedown defense, his takedowns. He's good on. He can stop submissions now. He's pretty well rounded now. But you know, kind of slow, and I always make fun of how slow he is, but somehow his punches land. He's fighting Julius Walker, who's going to be taller, going to be younger, might be faster. You know, well-rounded, good on the ground, good on the feet. But you know, Julius Walker has not fought UFC level, so he's got a good record, but I don't think he's got a lot of experience. He's 25 years old. It's going to be a close fight. I don't have a high degree of confidence, but I think Menifield should be able to win this. Very low confidence, so I don't trust Menifield. Even though the odds are decently in his favor, very low confidence. I'm going to go with Menifield just because we don't know Julius Walker. Moving on, Andre Fili versus Mezcal Acosta. Andre Fili is 34 years old. Mezcal Acosta, 28 years old. I think these guys are pretty well matched up. Good on the ground, good on the feet. I think Fili's going to be better on the feet than Mezcal. I think they both got good kicks. I think Fili might be better with the striking. They're both good on the ground. I'm going to give this one to Andre Fili. It's a toss-up, coin flip type of fight. The odds reflect that. Fili's going to be the pick. Moving on. Mansour Abdul Malik versus Nick Klein. Mansour, he's 6'2", 79" reach, 27 years old. Strong as a bull. This guy's very strong. Good striking. He seems disciplined. He's very young. He's improving all the time. You got Nick Klein, who's coming out of nowhere with a Contender Series. He got a super fast choke. And, the odds are crazy. It's minus 1,000 for Malik. And here's the thing is, Mansour Malik is young, he's inexperienced, but he's strong. So even if you out-technique him with the strikes, he could still survive and still probably KO you. Even if you out-technique him in the grappling, he could still outpower you in certain positions. But I saw something in Klein that I really like, and I wouldn't pick Klein straight up, but at these odds, I mean, he's plus 600. This guy seems like he's got a pretty good submission game. He's good sized for the division. He's only a little bit smaller than Malik. Well, like height wise, but I mean thickness. Mansour is much bigger. I don't know if he's going to be slower than Malik. I think he's going to be as fast as Malik. I think he'll be able to survive. I think that if you're going to catch Malik, it's going to be when he's starting in the UFC, when he's still developing. He's going to get caught at some point. I don't think he's got a lot of experience. I think he's susceptible to some good ground game. I saw that in his Contender Series. The guy was doing pretty good on the ground against him. He wasn't winning the rounds, but he was surviving and putting him in some awkward spots. And I don't think the guy was really strong enough to do anything with it because Mansour just overpowered him. I think Klein might be strong enough to do something. I think there is a chance that Malik does make a mistake and Klein capitalizes on him and possibly wins by submission. And at these odds, it's going to be my dog shot. Very low confidence. I'm going to pick Klein. I'm picking Malik, but yeah, I'm betting on Klein. So let's just say I guess I'm picking Klein. If I got my money on it, let's just call it what it is, I guess. I mean, if the odds weren't so crazy, I'd probably pick Malik because he should win. But there is this chance that Klein will win, and I went too long on this, granted, but this is my big dog shot for the fight. Will be Klein, so I'll pick Klein by submission. And then this fight just might go play right to the end. Klein might survive, and in which case Malik will win the decision. I don't see Malik really knocking Klein out. I see Klein, if he is going to get beat up, he's just going to not get finished, but beat up right to the end. And then I see Klein with the possibility of submission when Malik is, not expecting it. So, moving on. This fight got canceled. Ricky Simon versus Javid Basharat. Ricky Simon, 5'6", 32 years old. Javid Basharat, 5'9", 26 years old. This is kind of weird because Basharat's normally such a huge favorite. Only minus 260. And I think Ricky Simon is pretty decent, pretty good, well-rounded. But I think the game has passed him by. I think he had an opportunity where he's kind of making his run, and now there's a lot of new guys that have come into the league that are just kind of outdoing him. I think he's going to be outmatched. The guy, Javid Basharat's going to be too long, too technical from the outside. He's going to be able to survive the takedowns, and he's just going to win a decision against Ricky Simon. So Basharat's going to be the pick. Modesto Bukauskas versus Rafael Cerqueira. Both of them 6'3". Bukauskas 78-inch reach. Cerqueira 76-inch reach. 31 years old for Bukauskas. 33 for Cerqueira. I think the experience is going to go to Bukauskas. I mean, you can't really trust Bukauskas. He's not really that good. He's just super low level, but he does work hard. He's pretty well rounded. Then Cerqueira, I mean, what do we really know about Cerqueira? He got knocked out in like 30 seconds against Aslan, he's big and strong, but I don't think he's that great, but he just kind of went after him and ended up KOing him. So, I mean, there's not a lot to go on, but having seeing the two fighters, I mean, Bukauskas has got a lot more UFC experience. He's smart. He knows what to do. I think he'll be able to survive. He'll be taken on the ground. I think on the feet, he knows how to strike just enough. I mean, he's susceptible to get knocked out, but I got to go with Bukauskas on this one. Sakara hasn't shown me anything, and at 33 years old, just starting in the UFC, I don't think there's a lot of hope there. Moving on, Ayan Kutalaba versus Ibo Aslan. Ayan Kutalaba, 6'1", 75-inch reach, 18 wins, 10 losses, 1 draw, 31 years old. Ibo Aslan, 6'3", 77.5-inch reach, 14 wins, 1 loss, 20 years old. Ibo Aslan's improving all the time, but hey, he's just a big, strong Ottoman. So he's just big and strong. He's swinging big, but he's got a gas tank issue. As the fight goes on, he does get tired. And Kutalaba, same thing though. As the fight goes on, he does get tired. But I'm going to go with the experience and the underdog, because if I got to put money on this fight, which I think is a coin flip, it's going to go down to a decision, possibly split decision. I'm going to bet on Kutalaba with the experience to possibly be able to steal these rounds with a couple takedowns. And Aslan hasn't really had to deal with a lot of takedowns. I think Kutalaba can get him to the ground. It's going to be difficult. The Kutalaba's takedowns are generally really low, like below the knee. He gets really low on those double legs. I think he can get Aslan down. I don't know how long he can keep him down, but he just has to keep him down to win the decision. So it's kind of a coin flip fight. I'm going to go with the underdog Kutalaba to pull this off. Moving on, Rob Font versus John Matsumoto. Rob Font, 5'8", 71.5-inch reach, 21 wins, 8 losses, 37 years old. This is going to be the big difference is the age. Matsumoto's a little shorter, 5'6", 68.5-inch reach. The reach is not going to be for him. He's 25 years old. He's got pretty good leg kicks, but I think Rob Font has dealt with stuff like this before. He's 37 years old. He is fading. Matsumoto is on the come up. He's super young. But I got to go with the experience on this. I think that Rob Font's got a good takedown defense. I think he's good defensively on the ground. And Matsumoto is an up-and-coming guy. But, I saw him really struggle against, what's that guy from Canada? The guy that everybody hated in the house. What's his name? Where is that guy? Where's that guy? There he is. Yeah, Matsumoto, and I actually bet against him, and it was a really close fight. But Matsumoto looked pretty good, and but it was Brad Katona. But Brad Katona's not that good, and it was a unanimous decision. But honestly, it could have gone either way. He beat Argueta, and we know Argueta's got some issues with kind of his cardio later on in the third round and stuff, and he's also got some issues where if he can't take you down, he's gonna have problems with you. Anyways, I'm in a situation where I think that Matsumoto is up and coming, and I think Rob Font has fought the best guys. He's got way too much experience. He's 37 years old. He's not young. He's slowing down just a touch, but I think he's gonna win this by decision. So Rob Font's going to be the pick, and he's the underdog. So, I mean, how can you avoid, last time I did the same thing with Rob Font, and he was the underdog, and everyone's like, oh, he's going to lose. I'm like, man, he's got a lot of experience. He's fought a lot of contenders and champs. So, and he was a pretty decent sized underdog, and against Phillips. So I took him against Phillips. And he won. So. I'm thinking that Phillips is about at least as good as Matsumoto. But you never know. 37 years old, things can start changing for him really quick. Next fight, Gene Silva versus Melsik Bagdasaryan. Gene Silva moved up from 135. He's a little short for the division for 145 featherweight. He's 5'7", 69-inch reach. Bagdasaryan, 5'9", 70-inch reach. I mean, the reach is about the same, but a couple inches. And Bagdasaryan's good. He's a great striker, but I think he's got some holes in his game as far as the ground goes when he can get taken down. Gene Silva can kind of do it all, and he's really strong. I was really impressed with how powerful he was. When he KO'd Air Jordan, and then he KO'd Dober with Dr. Stoppage. I mean, how can you bet against this guy now? He's a huge favorite, but I think, yeah, he's going to win this fight. He's young, too. He's only 28 years old, so he's only getting better. Moving on, Brendan Allen versus Anthony Hernandez. Brendan Allen, 6'2", 75-inch reach. Anthony Hernandez, 6 feet tall, 75-inch reach. You know, I fade Hernandez because I keep thinking somebody can maybe land body shots. He's susceptible to the body, and Allen's a decent striker. But Hernandez, you know what? He doesn't look that strong, and he is kind of weak to the body, but he survives, and he's pretty tough. He's pretty durable. And I'm just getting tired of betting against this guy because what this guy is basically the Dvalishvili of the middleweight division. He's Dvalishvili in the middleweights because he'll go in there and he'll just keep coming after you until you get tired. And everybody gets tired because the pace he keeps up is just insane. So, and never mind when if he ever becomes champ or once he starts headlining more fights, because he was headlining the last fight, to 5 rounds, I don't think there's anybody that can really beat this guy in 5 rounds. I think there's people that can beat him in 3 rounds if they could hold out, win the first 2 rounds and lose the 3rd round, which is, I was kind of going back and forth. You know, I wanted to pick Allen. I thought, okay, if he's on the ground and he can win the 1st round, because Hernandez does lose the 1st round quite a few times, and then in the 2nd round, and Hernandez really picks it up. If Allen can just hold on and win most of the round, because coming to the end of the 2nd round, you're going to see Hernandez start to take over, just sheer cardio and pressure. And then Hernandez is going to win the 3rd round. So I was thinking about picking the underdog in Allen, but the more I look at it, I'm there like, Hernandez is like the Dvalishvili, man. He's going to keep coming. He's going to keep coming. And nobody can handle that kind of cardio pace that Hernandez puts on these guys, especially these big guys. Dvalishvili does it to the little guys. He's doing this to the big guys. So I'm going to go with Hernandez. He's a decent sized favorite. I can't bet against this guy. Guy looks like he's going to go, and contend. And everyone's going to have a problem with him because his cardio is insane. Moving on. Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. Henry Cejudo, obviously, he's way older. He's 38 years old. He's 5'4". He's going to be a smaller guy. He's going to be 4 inches smaller. Song Yadong is 5'8", 67-inch reach, 27 years old, young. They got a lot of experience, and Song Yadong has got a lot of experience really growing. He's really was going to be challenging for the belt, but he's run into some hiccups and roadblocks. But he's 27 years old. He's always improving. And Henry Cejudo, he's 38 years old. Now, he's not 100% Henry Cejudo, but he's 95%. I haven't seen him slip that much, but he is slipping. He's not quite the guy he used to be. But he has fought nothing but the best. He's only fought the champs. And Song Yadong did pretty good against Yan. Then, Yan ended up taking over the fight. This is a 5-round fight. I think Song Yadong also has a gas problem where it goes to 3rd and 4th and 5th round. I think he's going to slow down a little bit. Henry Cejudo, I think he's still going to have a pretty good gas tank. The striking's pretty good. I think the speed's going to be about the same. Henry Cejudo might be a little faster. Song Yadong, took Yan down, and I think Cejudo has the ability. I don't see him wrestling as much as I want to see him wrestling. And I don't know if it's because he doesn't want to tire himself out, chasing for the takedowns, or what. But Henry Cejudo should be the better wrestler, and I think he can steal some rounds, taking Song Yadong down. I think he's going to have his hands full in the first 2 rounds. Song Yadong's very big, very powerful, very strong. He's going to come throwing a lot of heat. And Cejudo, he's durable. So I think he's going to weather out the storm. And I think he's going to take over as the fight goes on, 3rd, 4th, and 5th round, and win the decision against Song Yadong. He's a decent-sized underdog, but that's going to be my pick, underdog play. I think Song Yadong, it's going to be a close fight. And I think Cejudo's going to pull this one off. I think he's good enough to beat Song Yadong. I don't think he's good enough to be champ, but he's good enough to beat this guy on that night, kind of thing. So that's going to be the picks. Let's check out the board. All right. Crazy. All right, not financial advice. Bet only what you can afford to lose. This is my picks, and I try to do the best I can from most to least confident, to narrow it down even further. But do your own research and, combine it with mine and possibly get some good picks. So this is going to be the picks. I think Silva's definitely going to win. I mean, definite, 60% definite, like anything else, right? He should win. He's my most favorite. Hernandez, again, the pace is it's crazy. Rizaboyev, I think he's the way better mixed martial artist in this one. The other guy's a new guy, well, new to the UFC. Basharat, I think he's just better everywhere against what's his name again? What's his name? Where's that guy? There you go. There goes the memory. Ricky Simone. Yeah. Basharat's going to be the victor. Veretnikov, I like what I see in Veretnikov. I think he's pretty well rounded. He's kind of high up in my confidence. I don't have any odds because I was on the site. They don't have any odds up yet, so I'm not even sure if he's going to be underdog or favorite. But he's up there anyways. Bukowskis, he's going to have way more experience. He's going to be well rounded. The other guy we don't know very much of, which is also scary because we don't know very much about him. And who knows? Maybe he had a bad fight last fight. Maybe he's going to have a great fight this fight. Font, even though he's the underdog, I have a decent amount of confidence that he could pull this off. And again, Feely in a coin flip, as far as the odds go, I still think he's the better guy, way more experience. Manyfield, he's a big favorite on the numbers, but I don't have a lot of faith in Manyfield. I still think he can win it, but it's kind of scary, so he's down here. Kutalaba, well, it's going to be a split decision. He's got to be on the low end of it at best, because it's going to be a close fight. Cejudo, again, he's the older guy. You think he's going to lose. I think he's slowed down, and I'm just betting on the fact that he hasn't slowed down enough to lose against Song Yudong. So, Klein, this is a dog shot. I mean, plus 600, minus 1,000 on a guy with his second fight in the UFC. At 25 years old, I can't do it. I got to go for the dog shot here. I mean, we don't even know this guy. For all we know, he can come in there, he's young too. I think he's 29, so he's improving all the time. And for all we know, he can come in at gangbusters and finish his fight quick, and it'll look what an amazing bet. It's hard to tell. But at minus 1,000, I wouldn't bet him even if I had him up here. He'd be, let's say I put him most confident, minus 1,000. I still wouldn't bet him anyway. So there's no point in even having him up here. I'm just going to go for the dog shot. Either look really stupid or look like a genius. So there you go. Well, that's great. That's it. Thank you very much for joining me. Hit the like button if you like the content. Subscribe if you want to get notified when I put up the next video. Leave me a comment. Love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think about the picks, what you agree with and what you disagree with. Otherwise, good luck in your bets, and have a great weekend.